You know that moment when you do something you swore you wouldn't do, and afterward, you're sitting there like, what just happened? Maybe it's the text you sent at 2 o'clock in the morning. Maybe it's the food you ate after promising yourself you wouldn't. Maybe it's the words that slipped out of your mouth before your brain could catch them. Now you feel weak. You feel out of control. You feel like you failed some inner test of character. But here's what was actually happening. You didn't fail. You just lost a vote. A vote you didn't even know was taking place. Because before you ever felt like you were choosing, your brain had already run the numbers. And the decision? It was already made. So let me tell you about the most powerful force shaping your life that you've probably never heard of. It's not willpower. It's not discipline. It's not even your values or your faith, as important as those are. It's something called waiting, and it is quietly running in the background of every single decision you make. Think of it like this. Imagine every choice you face is sitting on an invisible scale. On one side, there's comfort, relief, pleasure and safety. On the other side, there's discomfort, pain, uncertainty and threat. And your brain? Your brain is constantly adding weight to both sides based on one question. Which option helps me survive and feel safe right now? The option that weighs heavier, that's the one you pick. Every single time. You think you're choosing freely, but most of the time, you're just announcing the result of a calculation that already happened. And here's the part most people never realize. You didn't load the scale. Your brain did, before you were even aware a decision needed to be made. Now, this is where I want to slow down and make something very clear. How does your brain even know what to put weight on? How does it decide what counts as safe and what counts as threatening? It learns from your entire life, from childhood, from experiences, from pain and pleasure, from embarrassment and praise, from what got you accepted and what got you rejected, from every moment you felt loved and every moment you felt humiliated. Your survival system is like a student that never stops taking notes. Every time something hurts you, your brain writes, okay, avoid that next time. Every time something rewards you, your brain writes, more of that. Over years, all those notes turn into an internal rulebook. So, by the time you're an adult, your brain already has a detailed map of what feels safe and what feels dangerous, what feels rewarding and what feels threatening. And when a decision shows up, that map decides the weights. Not logic, not ideals, not your New Year resolutions, but the map. That's why two people can face the exact same situation and choose completely different things, because their internal maps are different. Let me show you how this plays out in real life. Picture this. You're at a restaurant. Before you even got there, you told yourself, tonight, I'm eating clean. Salad, grilled chicken, no junk food. You feel disciplined, focused and proud. Then the waiter comes and says, what can I get you? And somehow, without any big inner drama, you hear yourself say, shawarma and fries. And you're like, wait, what just happened? Now, here's what happened in very simple terms. Your brain quickly compared two experiences. On one side, you have salad. Your brain associates that with boring, not satisfying, feels like restriction, low immediate pleasure. On the other side, you have shawarma and fries. Your brain associates that with tasty, comforting, familiar, instant pleasure, emotional relief. So the system says, one option feels like work, and the other feels like reward. The reward option gets heavier emotional weight, and the scale tips. So, you see, you didn't order shawarma just because you're weak. In the real sense, you ordered it because, in that moment, shawarma felt more like survival than salad did. Or take another example. You're at a party and someone offers you cake. You already told yourself you're cutting sugar, but they're standing there smiling, waiting for your answer. Now your brain is not only thinking about cake, it's also thinking about social comfort. Now you're thinking, if I say no, I'll look awkward, difficult, boring, or even possibly disappointing to someone. But if I say yes, it'll feel like blending in, or being easygoing with no tension or explanations needed. So your brain quickly adds the weights. No, gets heavy social discomfort. Yes, gets social ease and instant pleasure. And before you even consciously decide, you hear yourself say, sure, just a small piece. Again, not just because you're weak, but because the emotional math was already done. And this doesn't stop at food. A friend confides in you, shares something private. Later, someone else asks about it. You know you should keep quiet, but in that moment, something else kicks in. The urge to feel important, to feel connected, to be interesting. And suddenly, those feelings weigh more than the abstract value of loyalty. So the secret slips out. And later you wonder, why did I do that? Because your brain wasn't asking, what's right? It was asking, what feels better right now? Let's go even deeper. Imagine a married person who knows, very clearly, that an affair would destroy their family. They know it's wrong. They know the consequences. But in a vulnerable season, the pull for attention, for feeling wanted, for emotional escape becomes extremely heavy. And in that moment, the pleasure of right now outweighs the pain of later. Afterward, they sit in shock, asking, how could I have done that? We rush to judge. We say, they should have been stronger. But what if it wasn't just weakness? What if the internal weights were simply stacked in the wrong direction? To be clear, this is not an attempt to justify wrongdoing or immorality. Truth is, actions have consequences, and consequences are necessary for the system's efficiency. We will get into that deeply in another episode. So, here's what I'm saying. Your brain wasn't built for long-term strategy. It was built for immediate survival. Not survival in theory. Survival right now. The part of your brain that processes pleasure, pain, and emotional urgency is called the limbic system. It acts fast, loud, and without hesitation. It's the system that drives your hunger, your craving for connection, and your urge to avoid discomfort. Meanwhile, the part responsible for reasoning and long-term thinking is called the prefrontal cortex. It comes online much slower. It can map out consequences. It can make noble plans. But when the pressure hits, it's too quiet to win the argument. It's like putting a philosopher in a boxing ring with a full-grown fighter. You already know who's going down. And here's the part that confuses people. We think we're free because we feel the struggle, the back and forth, the guilt, and the inner debate. But ask yourself this. If you were completely free in that moment, why would the right decision feel like such a war? Maybe the struggle isn't proof of freedom. Maybe it's proof that the outcome was already weighted, and you're just watching the internal math play out. But here is the biggest truth of all. You didn't assign those weights. Your brain did, based on everything you've lived through. Your upbringing, your experiences, your fears, your habits, your wounds, and even your victories. All of it formed the system that decides what feels safe and what feels threatening. So by the time you make a choice, you are mostly just reading the result. Now I know this sounds heavy, because it means many of the choices you beat yourself up over were not simple failures of character. They were outcomes of a system you didn't fully design. And this is where hope enters. Because if choices follow weights, then real change doesn't start with trying harder. It starts with reshaping what carries weight. Now, this is where faith fits beautifully. Scripture talks about the renewing of the mind, not just trying harder, but being transformed from the inside, teaching your system new definitions of safety, learning that discipline can be safe, that obedience can be safe, that truth can be safe, and that long-term reward can be safer than short-term comfort. In other words, spiritual growth is not just behavior change, it is weight change. And you see, weight change takes time, repetition, grace, and patience. So the next time you do something you swore you wouldn't, don't just hate yourself. Pause and ask, what weight did my brain assign in that moment? What made this option feel more survivable than the alternative? Because once you understand the system, you stop condemning yourself for being human, and you start asking God to rewire your internal definitions of survival. One decision, one habit, one new weight at a time. If this video opened your eyes to how decisions really work, do me a favor and hit that like button. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below and tell me, What decision have you been struggling with that suddenly makes more sense now? And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications because we're just getting started. This series is going places that will challenge everything you thought you knew about choice, faith, and freedom. See you in the next one.